Are you sure it hasn't been too much trouble?
No, not at all.
I hope these fittings aren't too cheap. We'd have had to have waited ages for a plumber. Got them in a sale.
That'd be fine. Anyway, it's better than no shower at all.
Are you sure it's going to work all right?
Let's try it.
Good. The shower oughtn't to strain the hot water system as much as endless baths. As long as the tenants use it, that is.
I'm sure they will. Well, I will anyway. It's less hassle than a bath. There.
Oh, well, it's rather transparent, isn't it?
Yes, but then there's not usually someone in the bathroom with you when you're taking a shower, is there?
No, not to the best of my knowledge, and anyway, you're fully dressed.
Oh, disappointed.
What do I owe you?
Oh, that's all right.
No, I insist.
Well, let's say you can owe me a favour.
What are you doing with that bag?
What do you mean, what am I doing with it?
Not leaving it down here, I hope.
I'm far too young and frail to lug it upstairs, even fold it.
Oh, we'll see about that. You tell young Jeff it's got to be taken up. It's his bike, it's his problem.
It was, till I bought it from him.
Well, you can't leave it there. There's already that pram.
It's not doing any harm.
Mrs. Singer, the very person. She wants to clutter up the hallway with her bike, and I'm saying she can't.
It's not in anybody's way.
If everyone was to leave their litter around...
Mrs. Beale's right. We can't have too many things left lying about.
If she can't take it up to her room, why not padlock it and leave it in the basement area until the place is sold?
And have it stolen. There's people go around with bolt cutters nowadays nicking bikes.
That's quite true. I had mine stolen a month ago. Does it fold?
Well, yes, it does, and it's too stiff for me. But if it makes you any happier, I'll try and get somebody to do it for me.
That'd be best, I think. Then it could be tucked away in a corner.
Right, thanks a lot.
First a pram, then a bag. It'll soon be an obstacle course instead of an hallway. You'd wonder where some people were brought up.
You do and all. Where did you park your penny farthing when you was young?
Can I help you?
Yes, I've been ringing Leslie Losey's bell, but there doesn't seem to be any reply. She should be home by now.
Maybe she's working late.
No, she left at the usual time. She's apparently cycling home.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, we'll soon tell if she's in. Yeah, a bike's there.
Well, her bell must be out of order then.
You could always try a room.
Yes, I will, thanks.
I should have asked if Leslie was expecting you.
No, not really, but we're good friends.
You know where a room is?
Yes, of course, and thanks.
Leslie?
Leslie?
Hello, Malcolm.
Oh, hello. Forgive me for coming in. I wasn't...
I was just taking a shower. It's right refreshing after work.
Quite.
Well, this is a right shock.
Not a pleasant surprise.
We say it different in Leeds, though it can mean the same.
Well, I'm sorry to catch you unawares. I would have phoned, but then I wasn't sure if you would...
Hang up, you mean?
I bought you some chocolates.
Ooh, look yours. Ta very much. I mean, how very kind of you.
I wondered how you were.
Oh, well, as can be expected after the end of a busy week with the Briggs-Sanford line.
All go over in your division, is it?
Busy days, busy nights. My after-work diary's been a bit hectic as well.
Oh. Is it filled for tonight?
Why?
Well, I thought we might go out somewhere if you'd like to.
Didn't think I'd see you again, apart from work. Not after that jolly evening with your parents.
I don't remember you saying it was jolly.
Jolly super and all that.
Look, I've said I'm sorry you were shoved in the deep end of Esher, especially at a rugby club do.
What do you mind for tonight, then?
Flicks if you fancy it, bite to eat afterwards. You choose where.
What if I said somewhere smart like Grimsby's of the Cloud 7?
My, you are up with the trends.
Well?
I said you choose.
Right. You'll have to wait outside while I change, though.
Oh, must I?
Yes, you must.
If my iron doesn't work, it must be your socket. I used it this afternoon.
Thanks, Mr. Beale. Let's try.
I used to hate shirts. Turned Frank over to drip dry.
Yeah, well, I'm a funny old-fashioned thing. I do like a freshly ironed shirt.
That Ruth Harris used to help with your ironing, didn't she?
Hmm.
She's gone back to her husband.
Right.
I wish we had more school teachers, more professionals. Not like that sort of young brat upstairs.
Who's that, Leslie?
'Cause you knew her better than me.
Who?
Mrs. Harris.
Oh.
I expect you'll miss her.
Yes, it's warming. Must have been my iron.
We'll be keeping in touch.
I doubt it.
Oh, it's best to make a clean break when things change and you've been fond of somebody.
Look, I'll bring your iron back just as soon as I finish with it, yes?
Don't worry.
All right, you can come in now.
What are you going to do about that bike?
Why? Do you want to put a parking ticket on it?
You heard what Mrs. Singer said. It had to be folded away tidily.
Why don't you just go and fold yourself away tidily, Mrs. Beale?
Don't you speak to me like that.
Look, I'll sort my bike out in my own sweet time, so don't go getting your cammies twisted. Oh, come in, Malcolm. Sorry about the clutter up here.
I'm warning you. Unless you do something about that bike, I shall throw it out into the street.
You do, Mrs. Beale, and I'll send for my second cousin, Freddie Truman, and he'll throw you as far as Brighton.
I like it.
The dress or my manners?
Both. Though I must say, one thing is ironic.
What?
I thought you said you hated cricket.
I do.
It doesn't stop you using Freddie Truman's name like you've known him all your life. He isn't really your second cousin, is he?
Of course not. But he's everybody's Yorkshire cousin, like they use Eddie Waring further north. Well, is this dress fitting, or would you prefer me to slip into something else? Something that would put you more at your ease?
Me?
You know what I mean. Being with me, the way I'm dressed.
You're getting back at me.
Up to the usual standard of the girls you take out.
I think you look very nice.
Would you like a drink while I'm making my face up?
Oh, well, yes, that would be very nice. What have you got?
Well, I've got rum, vodka, gin, whiskey, avocado, creme de
Gin
menthe.
and, I'm sorry about trying to change you into somebody else, I mean.
You're not the only one. My mum spent 19 years trying to do that. Only she calls it improvement.
No, I mean, you attracted me in the first place just because you are different.
You know your trouble. You shouldn't try so hard.
With you?
With everyone. To impress. You got no confidence.
I thought that was one thing I had learned.
Like one of them posh, stuck-up public schools.
Rather a minor one, actually. A grotty dump, if you really want to know.
Well, that makes two of us. Mine were grotty. One right bloody public. Anybody could go there if they were unlucky enough.
You're still sore at me over your friend Merrill, aren't you?
Well, it hasn't exactly helped race relations.
Beware of moral blackmail.
What do you mean?
You invited her to that dance without a word to me. And I didn't feel obliged to take her just because she was black. Either way, black or white, I would have said no.
That the truth?
Yes, it is. And the joke is you hated the evening and she probably would have hated it even more. Look, Leslie, are we going out or shall we stay here?
Can you do me up?
I'd rather undo you.
Get off. skip the pictures. There's a smashing little fish restaurant on the North End Road where they serve everything in seashells.
All right.
Got to take your own wine, though.
We'll get some on the way.
Oh, there. Brian, what's up?
Some twit left the shower half on. That's what's up. You just wait until I find out who.
Oh, dear.
You?
I think so. Let's give him out.
Will it cause any damage below?
It already has, mate.
Where?
In my room, Losey. In my room. Raindrops was falling on my head.
What on earth's that?
Speed.
My leg. Oh, it's my leg. I was trying to fold your back away. It's all your fault.
Make it up.
Oh, that's quick work. I feel awful.
And so you should.
Does Mrs. Singer know?
She was round this morning.
Suppose I'll have to pay.
Yeah, just pay attention to the notice in future, would you? You're lucky. Had a spare piece of lino in the basement.
Bet Mrs. Beale made the most of things with Mrs. Singer.
Yeah, well, you give her enough ammunition, don't you?
Well, she shouldn't have mucked about with me bike. How's her leg, anyway? Putting on the Walking Wounded Act, is she?
That is not just an act, Leslie. Even though she does manage to look like someone on the retreat from Moscow.
I'll see you. Yes? Who? I don't know if he's in. I'll have to ring his bell. Oh, you might have to wait a bit. I'm afraid I'm disabled. Oh, I hope you're pleased with your handiwork.
I said I was sorry last night.
Words don't mend bones, especially at my age.
Your ankle isn't broken, is it?
It's a miracle it isn't, I can tell you that. They showed me the x-ray. The hospital said the tendons will take a long time. Plenty of rest, they said.
Oh, well, you can manage that.
Oh, yes. And how can I rest living on my own, having everything to do myself, keeping my room in its usual sparkling state, and the washing, and the shopping? What are me and George going to eat? Phone.
Oh, thanks.
Look, I'm just going shopping myself. Perhaps I can get you something.
It's the least you can do.
Make out a list, then.
I've already done one. And I hope you're going to a big supermarket. Not those Asians round here who charge those fancy prices.
You need all this today?
And after that, since you've offered, you can go to the laundrette for me too.
But, Maureen, listen, what's the point of dragging me into it? No, I'm not running away, believe me. Look, you know where I'd be with immigration. Yeah. Well, all right, let me know the minute anything happens, OK? Yeah, right, see ya. Mrs. Beale, what have you done to your leg?
I fell over that blooming bike last night and it's all your fault.
Mine?
For selling it to her.
Hello. Come on in.
Well, just for a minute or two. I popped by to look at the bathroom floor. Done a good job.
Well, it's looking a bit better.
No, it's great. I mean, first the shower curtain, then the lino. Sorry about your ceiling, though.
Yeah, well, it'll dry out, given time.
This is for you.
No, there's no need.
No, I insist. You wouldn't take anything for the shower. Now the floor.
All right, then. I'll accept gratefully, on one condition. You have one with me. Hate drinking alone.
Well, just a quick one. Thanks.
No ice, I'm afraid, but plenty of water.
You taking up flying?
Thinking of it, yeah.
Thanks.
Say when?
When?
Good health.
Happy landings.
Thank you. It's funny. After all those years of drawing bits of aeroplanes, I've suddenly got this hankering, this urge to fly. We got a couple of private pilots in the company.
Isn't it wickedly expensive?
Yeah, it is. I've got a bit more money coming in now that Pat, my ex-wife, has remarried. No longer got the mortgage or the alimony on my back. Point of fact, I could afford the luxury of a small flat if I wanted, but, well, right now I'm perfectly happy here.
You wouldn't like to buy this house?
What, over 100 years? Anyway, I thought you had plans to sell.
No, I think they've all fallen through. Seems everyone's keeping their money in the bank these days, those lucky enough to have any. Anyway, there are too many problems running a bedsit house.
Lots of headaches?
Oh, yes. Did you read about the woman in Holland Park trying to sell a letting house? She had 10 rooms and 9 tenants who didn't want to leave, even with a little financial inducement. So she couldn't sell. She's getting less in rent than the interest on her mortgage.
Must be a pretty big mortgage. Still, it's rough, yes.
Anyway, why should you listen to landlords' hard luck tales? Actually, I have an apology to make to you. I somehow don't seem to have found the right moment.
Apology? For what?
Putting my foot in it over Ruth Harris, telling you before she did.
Forget it.
No, you must miss someone whom you've been particularly fond of, especially when they leave a bedsit house.
You ever lived in a bedsit?
No, I never have. Ironic, isn't it? Actually, I've never ever lived away from home, not even when I was studying for my degree. I was still living with my parents at Rickmansworth. Not like Eric. You remember Eric.
The photographer, yeah. How is he?
Oh, he's fine, I think. He's working with some studio in North Wales.
So, what, you married straight from university, then?
Yes. I met Gavin and gave it all up. I don't regret it at all, actually. I don't think I was really cut out to be a scientist.
Dribble.
Well, yes.
You know, there are compensations living in a bedsit, particularly if you like your own company and you envy lighthouse keepers. You've got all those people raging out there like a great wild sea, and here you are all alone and cut off.
I think I know what you mean. You never have any privacy when you're married and have children.
Oh, I was doing a bit of shopping this morning. All the couples out in force. Doing their sort of weekend stock-up. Husbands in their once-a-week casuals all pushing these groaning trolleys. Well, they must have 30, 40 quid worth of food in them.
Oh, Gavin would never help me. I don't think he could face the bill at the checkout.
It's one of those supermarkets that do the bachelor packs. You know, the ones I'm in, a single sausage, tomato cut in two, a bit of bacon, all neatly wrapped up in cellophane. Well, that's my bundle. And there I am, stood at the checkout behind this row of groaning trolleys, and I'm thinking, oh, you poor sods. It's funny, I always think of them being so much worse off than me. In all probability, they're looking at me and thinking I'm the poor son.
Ah, yes, but they're probably not about to take flying lessons.
True, true.
Tomatoes firm, I hope.
That's the lot. Here's your list back. And your change.
Is that all?
Inflation, Mrs. Beale. 16% above the gross national product. Or so they tell us.
I hope you didn't pay for their carrier bags.
No, they were free. Now, do you want me to help you put this lot away?
No, thanks. I can manage. Just.
I really must be going.
Hungry kids?
Yes, they're staying with a friend. Gavin was at a match at Twickenham this afternoon. He's going on to some club social this evening.
Ah, is he fond of the sporting scene, then?
Oh, what? The camaraderie? I think some men treat their free time differently to others. not quite the light housekeeper style. They like to play games, go to a game, have a drink afterwards, tell jokes. Anything, just so long as they don't get to know one another.
Oh, next thing you're going to tell me is that men are immature.
Yes, and you're going to tell me that I'm talking a load of rubbish.
No. But it's the mother's fault, you see. Well, I mean, some mothers. They mollycoddle their boys. They watch over them, protect them, do everything for them. And dads allow this because that's the way they were brought up. It's the burden of parents.
What do you mean?
Children carry the burden of parents.
Oh, no, I don't agree.
Now, you take my old mum. She's a magic lady, and I love her dearly. But a few days in her presence, and I've just got to get out from under. It's that all-enveloping... Oh, God, I don't know what. Now, my daughter, Jennifer, I don't know how she feels. I think she hates me.
Well, I'm sure that isn't true.
Yeah, somehow I think the women in my life seem to have got it in for me.
You make it sound like some kind of warfare.
Well, it is. I mean, men, women, relationships, it is a sort of warfare, isn't it? Particularly the part of the country I come from. Nevertheless, that doesn't mean to say that only Cockney boys go around beating up their women.
You were brought up in the East End?
Yeah, my dad was a stevedore.
Well, how come you came to be a draftsman?
Oh, well, that was Mum's idea. And she was determined I was not going to follow the family into the docks.
And you?
Docks never particularly turned me on. I mean, the idea of watching ships come and go for the rest of your life, it's not particularly exciting, is it?
How come you came to be interested in climbing?
Oh, that came later. That was a sort of therapy for all sorts of things, including marriage.
Sort of escapism.
Yeah. I think we'll kill this.
Oh, no, look, please, I'm going to get tipsy.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think that, marriage shouldn't be forever and ever, for better or for worse. I think we should all sign 5-year contracts, renewable at the end of that time or not.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I'll drink to that.
Oh, I really must be going.
Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere.
No, I've got to collect the kids from Ealing.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks again for doing the shower. And the lino.
Well, thank you for the whiskey.